Hi, my name is Adam Stopper and I am a visually impaired student, and I am enrolled in multiple tech classes. This is my third year of woodworking and cabinet making. In my class, I am the only visually impaired student. The rest of the population is sighted.
One of the things Adam and I did together was when I did a demo, he'd usually be on my left or my right-hand side. And part of the presentation was the tangible, the hands-on, feel this, because Adam's sense of touch is significantly more important to his understanding a concept than it would be most students.
My teachers and aides have worked together to create a classroom environment that best helps me work independently. Ms. Delgado has been my aide for close to 2 years and plays a big role in my success.
So my role, or at least the perspective I take on my role, is to sort of sit back and wait for Adam to ask me to help, or sort of watch him in the process, watch him figure it out, and step in when necessary.
I use a variety of in-class equipment to help me become successful in the shop.
We would have lines on our work to represent our layout lines. In Adam's case, those layout lines were not going to be easy enough for him to see, so we came up with a couple different things. We would clamp a board on top of a board and let that board serve as a guide for Adam, so whether it's an angle cut or a straight cut, he would be able to do that on his own.
Aside from my special equipment, Ms. Delgado and I use special techniques to complete more difficult tasks.
He'll have his hands on mine, so it's a hand over hand, guiding him through the process using the tools.
We took the lathe, which is a tool that Adam has been pretty successful with, and we darkened up parts of the lathe and we made the wood that Adam was working with a light colored wood, so again there's the contrast. And then one of the hugest things that allows Adam to be successful in here is his Visio book. So the Visio book is the monitor, and that allows him to get up really close to the screen and see details. I can point out things to Adam on the Visio book that help him to see. There were a couple times when it became very apparent that the Visio book was a great tool to have, but it wasn't bright enough. So we got a special lamp with a halogen bulb in it, and that halogen bulb lamp really helped to take away any shadows so that Adam could be able to see things even better. So Adam's success in woodshop wouldn't be the same if not for his aides and Miss Delgado.
So I definitely think he's successful just because of his teachers and the way that they can modify and come up with ways to help him do exactly what all the other kids are doing. So the way that they modify the lesson plans or the way that he uses specific tools.
Despite facing a multitude of challenges, my teachers and aides recognize that I face obstacles head on.
The most impressive thing about Adam has very little to do with his woodworking abilities. It's Adam's personality. It's Adam always having a smile on his face, always having something good to say, and his positive outlook.
I'm definitely impressed by his creativity. He has a million ideas, and each idea grows as we progress. So each step that we take further completing the project, the more creative he gets.
My experience with Mr. Harrington and Mr. Erickson has changed the way they teach the sighted population.
The tactile stuff, the hands-on stuff, that's more a part of my lesson. But I do realize that a lot of my students, even if they're not visually impaired, their sense of touch can be a really important thing.
It makes you think about what you're telling the kids. Maybe you have to explain it a little better. You take things for granted sometimes, whether they can see or not. You really have to explain it to them so they get a clearer picture when they can't see. But some of the kids, you just take it for granted they understand what you're saying. So it does make you go over the projects a little bit more in depth so they understand it.
I have been lucky enough to have amazing teachers and aides that try their hardest to help give me independence in the wood shop. I would like to help or inspire other visually impaired individuals and teach teachers that might be scared or hesitant to try wood shop or metal shop?
You have to consider Adam as being an active member in your class, and it would be insulting to Adam if you did everything for him and you handed him a block of sandpaper and said, okay kiddo, just sand the project and you're done. So that would be easier for me to do, but it wouldn't get Adam to the point where he is right now.
It is scary at first, but with advice and understanding of how to work with visually impaired individuals, both teachers and students can be successful.
Let the student voice exactly what they can and cannot do, because obviously they know best what their capabilities are. As long as there's good communication with the student, with the teachers or with the aides, the student will be successful in the shops.
The big thing with having Adam in a large class is making sure that Adam does as much as he can on his own, as long as there's no safety issues. So it caused me to think a little bit about how to present things, and I'm sure that over time I've changed individual project instructions because I thought about how somebody who has a visual impairment could be successful in class.